Hello viewers, hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel Rocks Tutorials Hub, and today we are in the second video of Archicad, introduction to Archicad, and today I'm taking you through the project screen of Archicad. Yes, so we are taking over from where we left last time. So now we have opened our Archicad there, and I will take you through what you're seeing on this screen. Yes, so first you can see on top there we have the logo and the name of the version of your Archicad there on top. That's what you have on top, and here is the name of the project you are working on. So the name of the project you are working on will be shown here. Okay, so next we have the Archicad menu. Let me say this is the Archicad menu, the menu which you have, the main menu for Archicad. So on the first we have file there. So on file, if you click on file, this is where you get to choose whether you want to create a new project or to open an existing project in Archicad. So you can go here and go to new and create your new project, or you can go on open and open existing projects. So you can click on open there and search for your project in your files in your drive, or you can open projects from these recent. So your recent project, the recent projects which you recently opened will show here, so you can open them from here. Just click on your project, double click there, and the project will open there. Okay, so next there is close project there. If you click there, you can close your project. You can here there is save, here there is save as, the export, and all the other stuff which we will look at later on as we move on with this tutorial. Yes, so next on the menu we have edit. On the edit there, this is where you get your editing options. Yes, so you can do undo, redo, repeat last, command, cut, copy and paste, delete, and the other edit tools there which are important, like select all rows, the grouping, display order, locking, move, align. Yes, you can align, you can distribute, reshape, and all those other editing options we can use here for your project. Alright, so on view, yeah, this is where you get to edit your viewing options. You can have your trace there. If you want to trace, you can put trace there so that you can be seeing what's underlying the work plan you are working on, and all the other elements, the other options like the snapping, the snap points, the snap on grid. You can also edit the elements in 3D view, and the zoom, structural analytical model, and all those other things you can do to your view. This is where you find them. We'll look into this as we move on, into more of this as we move on. Yes, alright, so there is design there. On design, this is where you get your design options, your design tools, architectural tools, structural tool. You can get to edit your story settings, can edit your elements. You can also do the connecting of elements and the trimming there. You can also do your solid operations. We will look into this more as we move forward. You can also modify your morphs, so we'll get to talk about morphs later, and you can look into this later. Okay, next we have the document tools. This is where you get all your documents. You can do your documents here, change the settings, or create them from here. Then there is the options, where you get your element attributes, properties manager, classification, and all these other your project preferences. You can get to change your dimensions, whether you want to work in millimeters, in meters, and all the other stuff which we will look at later on as we move on with the project. Then there is teamwork. Here, if you are working on a teamwork project, this is where you can get all your options for teamwork projects. Okay, then there is window. This is where you get to choose what you want to show on this window, this project window I am showing you today. So we'll be working on this one today. Then here there is help, where you can get your help from online, from Autodesk, from Graphisoft. Yes, you can get your help there. Okay, next on we move to the standard tools bar. This you are seeing here. So this is the standard tool bar. So what will we have there? Okay, so here we have your undo button. So all those other things you were seeing in these tabs I was showing you here, you can have them on this viewport here. On this view window, you can have them there so that you can quickly access them without having the trouble of going back to that main menu there to search for a tool to use. So you can have them on that window for quick access. Okay, so here we'll have your undo and your redo there, and we have your find and select tool, and also you have your pick parameters and inject parameters. This is one of my favorite in Archicad. Yes, I wish Revit has this as well, but this is one of my favorite in Archicad. And you have your guidelines there and your snapping guide there, and the tracker and all the snap grid, your planes, the horizontal or vertical, and the trace tool there. You can quickly press on that trace and have your gravity tool, your measuring tool. So you can quickly access your measuring tool. This is one of the tool you will be using frequently, so you can quickly access it here. And there is set origin as well. You can set the origin for your elements and project. Here there is suspend groups. So after creating your group, you can choose to suspend a group so that you can edit your group. So maybe you've grouped walls, or let's say you've grouped walls. You can click on suspend groups there and edit those walls individually. Alright, so if you deselect that as well, your walls will return to be to a group. They will return to group, but keeping your edits. Alright, there's a 3D cutaway there if you want a 3D section as well. Then there's a trim tool and a split tool. You can split your either a wall, a line. You can split your components there. You can trim your lines as well. And there's the intersect tool. You can draw lines and intersect them. You can add a fillet chamfer there as well. You can resize, and that's the trim roof. So you can trim walls by roof there. If you have walls which are 6,000 and your roof is at 3,000, you can use that to trim the walls. We will see as we move on using it, and then we will look into those later. Alright, next on we move to the info box. The info box, which is this one you are seeing here. The next below the standard tools bar we have the info box. Alright, what do we have in the info box? Okay, in the info box, this is where the information about a tool you have selected will be shown. Alright, first of all, maybe let's start with the toolbar. Let's start with the toolbox. Okay, if you look in the left side of your screen, there is this palette here. This is what we refer to as the toolbox or the tools palette. Tools box or the tools palette. This is what we have on the left side of the screen. Alright, so this is where you have the tools you will be using in your project, most of them for your architectural projects, for your engineering projects. Okay, so first, what do we have there? We have the select arrow and the marquee there. A marquee, you can select a marquee in rectangle like this. So this marquee, the marquee which is small, this one which is thin, it's only select up to one floor, and this one which is thicker, it selects many levels. It can select many levels there. Alright, so below that we have the design tools there. On the design tools, what do we have on the design tools? This is where we have most of the 3D tools. This is where we have them here, and some 2D tools as well. So these are the tools which we use during our design. The first tool we have there is the wall tool. So if you click on the wall tool, the information about the wall tool you have selected here will show here on the info box. So the info box, it shows the information about the tool you have selected. I think its name is self-explanatory, it's an info box. So it's showing information, but what information? Okay, information about the tool you have selected on the toolbox. Alright, so you can get to change and select most of the things here on the info box. We will look into more of these as we get to draw actual floor plans in the next videos which are coming after this one. So I encourage you guys to not miss any video. So always subscribe to my channel and comment and leave likes and ring the notification bell so that when I drop a new video you will always get notified and not miss any video. Alright, let's move on, guys. So the next tool we have is the column tool. Yes, so you can have your tools, you can put your columns on your project from there. So you can click on the column there and the information about that column will show on the info box there, you see. So here you can get to choose and edit the parameters of that column, you see. So it's all on the info box. So we will look at that later on as we move on with the project, with an actual project. So yeah, you can get to choose the kind of columns and all stuff, whether I want a slanted column and everything. So all this is showing on your info box. Alright, so next on we have the beam tool. which you can use to draw your beams. You have put your columns, now you want to put your beams, we can use that too. Next we have the slab too. We want to put our floors, we want to put our beams, we want to put our floors, we want to put our slabs, we can use that. Then we have the roof too for our roofs. So on the info box there we can get to choose how we want to construct our roof, the geometry of the roof and the layer and all other parameters of that roof. Okay, and next we have the shell too, we have the stair too, we have the railing too for our railing. You have drawn your beautiful stairs, now you want to put railing. You have put your balconies, now you want to add railing, that's where you can get it. You have a curtain wall there, you want to add your curtain walls, you want to put your beautiful windows, so you can use that one there. You have your door too, now you have drawn your walls, you want to add doors to your project, you can use that. And the info and the parameters will always show on your info box there. And next you have your window too, same applies to all the other tools, the info is showing there. And next you have your skylight too, you can add your skylight on your roof. You have your opening too, you can add your openings on the walls. You have drawn your walls, now you want to put an opening, just an empty opening, you can use that too. You have your zoning too. Okay, on a zoning too, that one works in 2D. So that one, like I said before, that here you get design tools, but 2D and 3D tools. Okay, so the zoning tool, you have put your floor plans and now you want to zone, maybe to zone with a different and add different colors, different textures to your zones. Maybe this zone is a walkway, these zones are bedrooms, these ones are entertainment areas, this zone etc. So you can use your zone 2 there. Then we have a mesh 2. You are working in this one, you're working in 3D and you want to add a mesh. You want to add this side, so you can use that mesh tool there. Alright guys, next on we have the morph tool. The morph tool is like a massing. It's a massing tool which you can use to create any shape. You can use it to create any shape, any 3D shape there. You can use that for your modeling, so it's mostly for modeling. All those other crazy forms of yours, most of them you'll be modeling them using what? Using your morph tool. Okay, and then next we have an object tool. The object tool, this is where you get to put your chairs, to put your beds, to put your furniture, to put all the other stuff, the other necessary stuff for your project. All the objects. You have drawn your walls, you have put your doors, you have put your windows. Now you want to put objects in your project. That's where you can get them. You can get 2D objects, 3D objects to put on your floor plans, to put on your sections, objects to put on your 3D model as well. So yeah, that's it. That's where you get them. Then there is a lamp tool. You want to add lights, equipment tool, the other equipment. There's a corner window tool as well. You want to add your corner window. Maybe you have that beautiful design and want to add your corner window at the corner where you can have a nice view. Yeah, that's where you can find it as well. So there is an wall end tool as well. Yes, the end of your wall as well. So those are other tools you have there. So those are your design tools. In the design tools, that's all we have in Archicad 24. So next on, we move to the next the next tool. So we have that, which is the viewpoint tools there. So in the viewpoint tools, this is where you get to have your section tool. I think in the earlier versions you can find this in the document tools. They are under documents. In the earlier versions of Archicad you can find them under document tools. So you have your section tool there, then you can draw your section line. You can draw your section line across your building, and likewise you have selected your section line there. All the other info, the info is showing on the info box, so you can choose, you can edit everything there. Okay, also there is an elevation. There's an elevation tool as well. An elevation tool, you can also draw your elevations there. You draw your elevations and you can choose the settings. Most of it you can change it on the info box there. Okay, next on we have interior elevations as well. Interior elevations too, we have a detail tool, we have your worksheet there. You can get to have your worksheets and the info will be showing like all the other tools on the info box. Your camera as well, you have a camera, and that's it on the viewpoint tools. And next on we move to the document tools. And what do we have on the document tools? On the document tools, this is where we have dimensions, level dimensions, and the fill, the text, the angle, the lines, the circle, the polyline, the spline, the hotspot, and all the other 2D document tools. This is where you find them. So alright guys, let me take you to the next thing we are going to look at into this video. We have the navigator. So on the right side of the project screen, on the right side of the project screen, that's where we have our navigator. So this is the navigator. So this is where you get all the information, all the things, all your views, your sheets, and everything, your stories. This is where you have it on the project. So here you have your stories, your levels, your views, and all the other. This is where you have it, your schedules. And here you have your stories. As well, so you can get to change here, you can rename, you can do sorts of things to it there. And here you have your sheets. This is where you have your sheets, your masters, layout. So we will look into this as we move on with the project. There you can get your layouts and print them out as PDF there. Alright, so next on we have the tab bar. Okay, the tab bar, this is it, this you're seeing here. So the tab bar, you have your tabs. So this is a ground floor tab which is open here. So if you click on that, you open a 3D tab. As you can see, this is a 3D view opens. So if you click on 3D, you view your 3D view, you open. There you have your south elevation tab. So if you go here and you double click on north elevation, it shows there in the tab. So this tab, it shows the views which are open on the project. So all the views which are open on the project are showing there on the tab. Alright, so next, what do we have next? Next on we have the status bar. The status bar is this thing you have down here. And here, this is where you have your zoom tool. You can have your increase zoom, fit to window, all that. So we are there. You can increase, you can zoom like that. We can fit to window. Yes. And here you can select the zoom percentage here. If you want to zoom by 1000%, you want to zoom by 100%, you want to zoom by 20%, you can fit to window. The previous zoom is this one, next zoom is that one. You see? Alright. And you have the orientation there. You can set your orientation and the degrees for your orientation there. Yes. And you can have your scale. You can change your scale, whether you want to work in 1 in 50, you want to work in 1 in 100, all that. And here you can choose the layer type. Here you can choose the layer. Which layer are you working in? You're working in drafting layer or any other layer you want to work on. And here there is the display, how you want to display your model. So you can display without finishes, you can display core on, you can display entire model, and so forth. So yeah, here you can choose the pen, which pen you want to use there. You can choose there. And here you have your model view options there, and graphical override and so forth, most of the stuff. Yes. So alright, what do we have next? We have the scroll bar. The scroll bar is supposed to show here. So if you go on window and you can see here what is show scroll bar, you can have your scroll bar and you can start scrolling up. So if you don't want it, you can go back to window and hide scroll bar. So yeah, so let's go back to show scroll bar, and we have our scroll bar. So you can scroll your project like that, or you can just click on the arrows if you want to move slow. Or so yeah, that's it. And next, on the window there we have we can choose what we want to show. We can choose what we want to show on the screen. We can choose to hide the properties, the tools palette there. So if we go on tools, we can go on toolbar here and select or deselect the tools we want to show. So as you can see, we can have a 3D tools and they show. We can go and you can click on the arrow there on the X if you want to remove that. So we can go as well on toolbar and you select or deselect. Let's deselect on standard, and we have removed those standard. We can go as well on toolbars and tick on standard. Those standard tools are back. You can go as well there and go to palettes, and we can uncheck the tools palette there. We can bring it back, palette, tools palette. It's back now. Now you have your tools. Okay, so while it's here on palettes as well, you can deactivate the navigator as well. Go back, palettes, you can activate the navigator. You can do the same for all the other palettes, the status bar, the info box, all the other palettes we were working on. Yes, so we will look into the other stuff as we move forward with the projects. So with this tutorial, so that's it guys for today's video. Let's meet again in the next video, and likewise, this is Rock's Tutorial Hub, and I say become an expert. So don't forget to like, don't forget to comment on